Taylor Tatum, the #1 running back in the country, according to the On3 industry recruiting rankings, has committed to Oklahoma over USC. This is a big-time get for Brent Venables and company, but what does it mean? Let's take a really close look at it first. What did you get in Taylor Tatum? You got a really good running back. Can do a lot of things for you. He's got good hands, even though he's been sort of limited in being asked to do that on Friday nights. Looked good in the camp setting, according to Charles Power, who's our director of scouting and rankings here for On3. Also, one of the things that we love about him is his one-cut ability. And when I say we, I mean Charles Power, director of scouting and rankings for On3. Yet again, he's the GOAT. Men lie, women lie. Charles Power don't lie. One-cut guy, gets his foot in the ground, gets north and south, and that's what you need at the running back position, especially moving to the SEC. Really good speed, about 4.5 electronic, which is like legit. Everyone says they run 4.5, 4.4, but when you get on that electric time, that's how you know you're real deal fast. 5'10", 200 pounds, long striders, got good track speed. And if you want to take a closer look at this, DeMarco Murray is who recruited him to Oklahoma. Obviously, the running backs coach in Norman. DeMarco Murray played running back at Oklahoma. And so for him to coach and recruit this position and to recruit Taylor Tatum as hard as he did to get him to come to Norman, you can't help but feel like there's maybe just a little bit of extra pride with recruiting that position that he played at his alma mater. So if DeMarco Murray is signing off on Taylor Tatum, I promise you he is more than capable of success at Oklahoma. Now, also want to make sure we mention this. Whenever you see high-profile recruitments like this, like Taylor Tatum had, you got to look at who they were competing against to land Taylor Tatum. Big-time win for them over USC. And I know the good people in Norman. I know there's a little bit of beef there when it comes to what's going on in Los Angeles, what you got going on in Norman. So it had to feel good. There's that side of it. But also, Lincoln Riley doesn't mess around when it comes to recruiting offensive talent. So if he wanted him on his football team, it's a big-time gift for Brent Venables to have him on his. Make sure you subscribe right here. We talk ball every single day now. Less than 40 days away from week 0 of the college football season. Want you a part of this? Live twice a week now, okay? Tuesdays, Thursdays, 11 a.m. Eastern. Subscribe so you do not miss a minute of it. Also follow me on the socials at JD Piquel, Twitter and on Instagram. I'm going to let you know when we're going live. Going to have content on those platforms that we don't have right here on the YouTube channel. Make sure you're locked in. There's no more time for messing around, all right? We appreciate you for that in advance. Now, from a macro perspective, let's zoom out and take a look at the impact of this for Oklahoma. To have Jeff Levy's offense executed correctly, you need to be able to run the football. Last year, Oklahoma ran the football 57% of the time. They have an emphasis on going quickly and catching defenses off guard. So having a guy with his skill set that can put his foot in the ground and get north and south and has that real deal speed, like that's going to pay dividends for them in the long haul. The batteries for this offense under Jeff Levy is the running game. That's the first thing. The other part of this, and I think this is fairly obvious, and we've seen this for a little bit now with Oklahoma, they are building a formula with their roster to compete in the Southeastern Conference. Because Taylor Tatum, when he gets there now, that Sooner jersey, that Sooner helmet, they're going to have an SEC sticker patch and, sticker on the helmet. For Taylor Tatum, what he's bringing to the table here, outside of his skill set, is more depth at the running back position. You have to be able to run the football, not just for the offense, but in the SEC. LSU won the West last year. What'd they do? Ran the football really well, over 180 yards a game. Georgia won the SEC, won the national title, ran for over 200 yards a game. Running the football is the price of admission for success in the SEC. And look at how Brent Venables is building it right now. Last cycle, in 2023, a top 10 class, number 7 ranked class, according to us here at the On3 industry recruiting rankings. 9 of the 27 commits were on either the offensive or defensive line. Got to win the line of scrimmage. They also had 2 running backs in that 2023 cycle. Taylor Tatum makes the second running back in the 2024 cycle committed for Brent Venables. So they're understanding, hey, if we want to win in the SEC, we got to win the line of scrimmage, we got to run the football. And that's what Taylor Tatum is helping ensure over the future period of time for Oklahoma. Now, I want to make sure we say this too when it comes to Taylor Tatum and his recruitment and just the overall feel of things right now in Norman. There's a lot of people outside the Sooner bubble that are very skeptical of Brent Venables based on year one. Walked into a job, a lot of close losses. You don't get any credit for close losses. Those are still losses. He went 6-7. It's not pretty. No other way around it. But I think it is far too early to make a definitive statement on what Brent Venables is going to be in Norman. And I've said that many times. I'll say it again. But landing the top running back in America, I think that's further proof that Brent Venables is going to recruit his tail off. If that top 10 class a season ago wasn't enough for you, what they're building right now, I think, is going to prove that this is not just a one-time thing. Like, they're going to recruit well over a sustained period of time. And so that tells me when they get to the SEC, will it be an adjustment? Sure. It's always an adjustment when you play in the toughest conference in America, even for teams that are in the SEC. Year in and year out, you got to adjust. But the personnel at Oklahoma, I believe, will adjust accordingly, and I think they're going to be up to par. Will they be overwhelmed? I don't believe that. I have a hard time believing that based on the way they're recruiting and based on what Brent Venables is going to do for them on the defensive side of the ball, and then landing a guy like Tatum to bolster their depth and their efforts to be able to run the football how they want to and how they need to when they get to the SEC. So Tatum, the number one back in America, according to the On3 industry recruiting rankings, is headed to Oklahoma. Big time get for Brent Venables and the Sooners. Oklahoma fans, one more time, make sure you're locked in here. Make sure you're subscribed. Talking ball, talking recruiting, everything that you and I both know and love about this sport happens here every single day. You can also find us on the podcast as well. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get them. Type in the Hard Count with JD Piquel. You will find us there. All right. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of the Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.